Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this tutorial, we'll get to learn how we can convert data from any random website into JSON format so that we can use it on our Android app, or we can store it into PHP database or any kind of database. We'll have to download a file, simplehtmldom. You can download it from the source code. We will have to move this file. This is the file that we actually need. Wrapping. Okay. Now what we will do, we will create a new index.php file in our web scraping folder. As you can see, the simple HTML DOM file. So first we need to understand how these things work. So like you have a page like this which have a lots of data on it. So we will like inspect the data to see what element is repeating, because there is only one element like list or unordered list or any other attribute which is repeating in a loop again and again, displaying different. As you can see, every data has one picture, one text, one on click button. Some say details are changed, but the format is same. So we will have to find that container. We will have to go this container which is displaying all this data. For that we will have to select this button. It will highlight the div in which we are. See, so we will have to found the div. So we will have to find the div in which all the data is being represented. So I think this is the div. You can check by just scrolling it over after clicking this button. So when I go to this listing wrapper class of this div, I see my all data is highlighted. So actually this is the container that is holding all this data. We need to go through this div. So we will use this class name as an ID for this div, so that we can use it in our code later. For secure purpose, copy it and check if there are any other divs with the same class, and if there are any, we will have to use them as an index, which we will discuss later. Copy it, click anywhere in the page, press Ctrl F, and then paste the copy. So as you can see, it is showing only one of one, which means there is only one div with this class. So we will go in this div, and when we are in this div, we can see that the tag UL is repeating again and again. So which means that there is only one UL tag which has been placed in a loop, and it is repeating itself again and again unless the data is ended. Here we will first include our simple HTML DOM file, which we have downloaded earlier, and after that we'll get the contents of the website. So for that we will have to place the URL of that website on which we want to get our data. Copy the URL, and after that, to access the elements of that page like div, UL, and each and every element, so we will have to use the function str underscore get underscore html, which will help us to get those contents or those tags of that website. So in it we will write content, and now we have all the HTML things. Now to check it, we can also perform a check, like as you can see the link is of our localhost, but the website is loaded successfully in our page. Now what we will tell that there is a div in this HTML page. So find, we are saying that HTML go find the div in your page which has the name listing wrapper. Listing wrapper, listing wrapper. In case if there are multiple listing wrappers, for example there were three of three listing wrappers, for or more than three, or like multiple listing wrappers, we will have to use index. For example there was one listing wrapper here, one there, and one there, and if you wanted to access the second one, you will write the index for it. For example, if you wanted to access the second one, you will write 1. It works like indexing, as we know in programming, like 0 0 index is for one position, 1 index is for two, 2 is for 3, and so on. So if we want to access second div with the same class name, we will have to write 1, and if you want to access the first div, then we will have to write 0. So in our case there is only one div, so we will have to write 0 by convention. And now we have reached to the div, and now we know we have to find the element which is repeating itself again and again, which is in a loop. So we can see UL tag is repeating again and again with the same structure: one image, text, buttons, text. So things are same, but the data is changing. So the UL tag is repeating again and again. What we will do, we will reach that. So what we will do, we will reach that element or tag which is repeating itself. We will find it, and it is the UL tag which is repeating itself again and again, and it is the first one. Yeah, because there is h2 tag and UL tag. So if there are multiple UL tags, for example there was an other UL tag other than this one, because this UL tag is all one, it is just repeating itself in a loop. For example, there was an other UL tag which was representing an other set of data, then we will have to give the index like 1 or 2. But in our case, we will use 0, because it is only the one, because it is only one UL tag. And now we will say, like, we have the list. So for each loop, dollar list as dollar row. And in our case, we have only one UL tag. You can only also do this by removing 0. We will check if it gives, we will check later. If it gives any error, we will write 0 again. And now what we want is the car image, car title, or the name, model, whatever you want to call it, price, and description. 4 attributes. For this we are creating variables for our own convention. Now first of all we will get the image, dollar row, find image tag. So we'll go into the UL list, and in it there is another list. Now you don't have to worry to give the address, because we already are in this div, because we give the position here that we are in the div list, and after that we are in the UL list. So don't worry about the rest of the content above or below it. We already are here. There is an image box which have this a tag. As we can see, when we go to the site, the image tag is inside the a tag, so don't care about the a tag or this div. We already are here, so we just need to tell the page that we want this image tag. So we'll write it directly image, and after it I've written 0. 0 says that the first image tag, and as it is clear that when we enter the UL, the only first image tag is this one, our required one. And now we want the link of it. So when you want the link of the image tag, you write src, and now we can store in it our image variable. And now we will get the name. So where is the name? We can check it by this thing, and it is inside the h1 tag, and we know we are already in that UL. Now we will write directly, but we have to check for safety that there isn't any other h1 tag. Yes, there is no h1 tag prior to it, so we can go directly for this h1 tag. We will write dollar row find h1 tag 0, as it is the first one, and we need to store it in any variable like $h, and now $h. What we want from it, we have reached the tag, but what we want from it, we want the text from it. So to get the text, we write plain text and store it our variable $name. We have got two things. The third thing is dollar description, or the detail about the product. Fine. So where is the description? Yeah, so the description is in the p tag, and we can see there is no p tag earlier, so we can directly access it. Okay, now we will go for the last thing, which is dollar price, and to get the price we go for price. Yes. So now in this case, sometimes there is confusion that it is not even a p tag, it is not even h tag or any other tag which directly represents text. It now this time it is a div tag. Itself is a container, so the text is not like in a text tag like p tag or h1 tag. So we will access this div by its class as we did earlier. Now we have the all data. What we have done, we have got all data from the tags into variable. What we need to do is we need to like arrange them in objects, or we have to create an array from it. So what we will do, we create an array of name object, and we will name them like name and price, or whatever name you want to give them. So now we have just initialized them in this object array, and now what we want to do is we need to create another array which we will, so we will create another array name response, which will hold all our response. Now we will store this object into that response array. Dollar, so it will hold this object into this response, and now we will just to store this object into this response array. Now we will echo it just to see what output we get. Dollar response. So there was a mistake in spelling as we write manually. Now we will check it, and now as just ignore the errors. I've checked them. They are trying to get a value of null objects which are null on that website, so don't worry about these four. And as you can see, the other data we have got from the website successfully.